Hello, my name's Zimmaron, and thank you so much for watching this video. So, I was scrolling through Instagram today, and a video popped up from Grant Cardone. And he was in his private jet. He's a billionaire and made billions literally in his 50s with real estate. And he's an awesome teacher, and he does a lot of good work and all of that sort of stuff. But his video was of him and his son on his private jet, and they were talking about money, and he was teaching his son about the value of money, and he was, pulling out $100 bills and saying, money can buy a vacation, money can buy this, money can buy that, all these things. And, at one point, money, however, cannot buy happiness. And that sort of got me thinking about money, and why is it that people struggle with money, and why is it that people are not able to get ahead in their lives, and why is there such a gap between the rich and the poor? And it's an ever widening gap that's happening, and it really does come down to mindset and your money beliefs, what you learned from your parents. And it actually has nothing to do with your circumstance and situation that you grew up in. Because, there's plenty of examples of people that came from poor backgrounds that have accumulated and become very wealthy and very rich. But there is one thing that's very, very obvious to me, and that is that the people that don't have money tend to focus on why they don't have money. They tend to focus on money itself, rather than what it is that they need to be doing in order to accumulate money. And that's where the problem is. There's a judgment of rich people, and there's a judgment of, that the money is the root of all evil, and so the people that don't have money have all of these judgments that reinforce them not having money. And generally the people that don't have money are the ones that, or the people that don't accumulate money, tend to focus on money all the time. Their stress comes from money. Their lifestyle starts creating anxiety and starts creating an emotional reaction to the lack of money. And so therefore money becomes a source of stress. It becomes a source of pain. So when money becomes a source of stress and a source of pain, and you start associating money as that, then of course it's literally impossible to start making money. Because where the focus needs to be, not on what it is that you don't have, the focus needs to be, what do I need to do in order to make more money? And a lot of times we don't even believe that we have the capabilities of starting our own businesses, or we don't have the capabilities to take matters into our own hand, because, you've been programmed to think that you need to work a 9-to-5 job. You've been programmed to think that you need to work minimum wage, and you are programmed to think that you need qualifications and you need education in order to make money. And that's actually not true. None of that is true. Those are all limitations and judgments and things that we impose on ourselves due to the programming that we have received from external sources that have made money and the accumulation of it into a negative concept. And so therefore, if you're resentful for other people having money, you'll never have money. If you're resentful for the success of other people, you'll never be successful. How could you be? You are literally creating a negative association to something that you're secretly actually really wanting and needing and could do with to improve your life. Now, it's also true that not everybody is supposed to accumulate wealth, and not everybody wants to. But again, why is that? Because everybody is quite happy to receive a handout, right? Everybody's quite happy to go, that if they were told that you're going to go win the lottery ticket, there's very few people that would say, you know what, I don't really want that. But if they did, they'd probably just give it to charity or something like that. So I would always take the money, ultimately, but not at the expense of others. And I think that that's where there's a fine line and where a lot of judgments come from, is that we see in the world where money has been abused, where money has been used to exert power over and influence over people. And that is true. That has happened, and that does happen. But less and less are people going to be able to get away with that sort of behavior over time, just because of the great balancing that's starting to happening on the planet, and that needs to happen on this planet. And it's partly to do with the fact that there's only so far that these actions, taking advantage of people and these things that fuel these negative aspects of money, that they'll be able to continue. The point is, whatever you focus on, you become. And what I mean by that is that when you're focusing on lack of money, you will become that. You have to, because you create your reality. Your beliefs determine your outcome. And I can get into so much more about this, but just know that when you align yourself to who you truly are, and you discover your passion. There's a movement out there that I've seen on some videos out there on social media where people are saying, like, but the people that say follow your passion and all of that sort of stuff, are wrong. Making money has got nothing to do with your passion. It has nothing to do with who you are. Just go out there and just do whatever. And I'm going to say this to that. That's absolutely not true. It's absolutely not true. There is a certain resilience that is required for somebody to become successful. They have to overcome hurdles. They have to overcome the limitations of their mind, because whenever you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and you're taking an action that's going to take you to the next level of where you're at, there's growth involved in that. And if your why isn't big enough, or you have these negative programs and judgments ultimately that are holding you back, then you're going to give up. And you're not going to do the things that you need to do in order to become successful and make the money that you feel that you deserve and want. There's also a truth, and that is that if, when you align with who you truly are, then you will naturally create and manifest exactly what you need in order to continue perpetuating that and growing into that and to expanding into more of that. And that includes money. The money will come if you allow it to. We also have a lot of agendas as humans. We have this limitations that we impose on ourselves as to how money shows up, and how it needs to come. That it needs to come from an employer. It needs to come from in the form of a check. It needs to come from, other things. But it comes through many, many different means. As an example, and this is just an off-the-cuff example to illustrate a point. What if just being healthy and taking care of yourself ends up saving you tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills 10 years from now? But your current lifestyle choices right now are heading you down a path that's going to make you very sick and very ill 10 years from now. And that could end up costing you tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills. Okay? That's money right now in your pocket. You don't see it and you don't experience it as physical cash, but those tens of thousands of dollars that you save in health and medical bills because you take care of yourself and you make loving choices, self-loving choices for yourself is important. You know, you disassociating and removing the stress out of your life is important, because most people that are in fight or flight cannot become who they truly are. They're not aligned with who they truly are, and they're not able to pull themselves out of the rut that they're in, again, just because of how they perceive themselves and what they think of themselves. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars just by putting out a series of 20 or 30 YouTube videos 6 or 7 years ago, as an example. You can actually Google and find those videos if you're really curious about it, because it's really quite funny. You know, and I promoted a program, a software called ClickFunnels. I was actually one of the early affiliates and affiliate marketers that, put those videos up. You know how much those videos cost me to do? It didn't cost me a dime to make those videos. It didn't cost me a dime to actually rank those videos. It just cost me a couple of months of dedicated work while I was running my other businesses and living in an ashram and running events and all that sort of stuff. But it didn't take me much to be able to create what could be life-changing income for some people. And that's all passive income. And even to this day, I'm still making money from that. So anyway, I could, go on and on and on about money, because money is one of those really difficult topics that really creates a lot of division in society and amongst people. But you should be celebrating the success of other people. You should be looking at what other people that are successful are doing and their mindset. I'm not saying to necessarily emulate who they are and what they do if it's not in alignment with your philosophies and the style of business or the type of business that you want to create. But you've really got to look at your judgments. It's no different than the judgments that some wealthy people have on poor people. And that's a whole different discussion as well. And especially, those judgments tend to come from the people that are using money in the wrong way and in the way to exert power and influence over other people. And so therefore they're doing things that are not as good, that do actually impact poor people negatively and in a way that enslaves them and uses their belief systems against themselves. So anyway, if you need help in any way, shape, or form, if you have a business and you're struggling and you're looking for, ways in which, you're looking for a breakthrough, you're looking for a way to 10x your income and your money, and you're looking to align with who you truly are and figure out what it is that you need to do in order to be able to make money and to be able to improve your lifestyle, then go ahead and click the links down below and schedule a call for me, because I can help you. I've done online marketing for the better part of 20 years, and I've run and created numerous 6-figure businesses and have made multiple 7 figures online over the years. And I've done it through all sorts of different ways. I've done it through consulting. I've done it through marketing and SEO. I've done it through affiliate marketing. I've launched many different types of businesses, and I've worked with some really ultra successful people out there in the marketplace, and I offer that as a service because, I like to help people out in whatever way, shape, or form. My philosophy is that I want to help, especially people that are more conscious, that are really, really wanting to impact the world in a positive way and are struggling to make their dreams come true and are struggling to create the connections and whatever it is that they need in order to do that. Well, I'm here to help you, and I'm here to offer my services if that's something that you align with and feel that I would be able to be beneficial to you. And if you apply yourself fairly much, you apply yourself and you're willing to do the work and step out of your comfort zones, guarantee success and material benefits are always going to be a result of that, and you won't be able to stop it from happening. That's the ultimate truth. Okay, there are better ways of doing things and there are worse ways of doing things, and there are better areas to focus on that can attract and help you create the life that you want more rapidly and faster and without the headaches. You see, the thing is that the truth of always lies in the simplicity of things. We tend to overcomplicate things and get into our heads, and that is the reason why so many people struggle and get overwhelmed and burn themselves out or end up giving up. Okay, because they're filling their heads with all sorts of stuff that's not necessary. There's a game plan and there's a formula for success that's very, very simple, and it's step by step and it builds upon itself. But, if you're at step 1 and you're focusing on step 5, then you're going to fail because you're going to delay the inevitable success that you can have because you can't do that. And that's one of the problems right now with a lot of the stuff, the noise that's out there on the internet and people promoting programs and courses and all sorts of different machinations is getting confused about what to do and what's best for you. And that's the biggest key. What is best for you? What is best for your business? What is best for what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and it's your passion and your dream? It's difficult to be able to convey that in a training program or in a course. And so many people waste so much time and so much money buying into all these courses and programs. And there's a reason why 95% of the people don't ever complete them and don't actually ever do them, because they're barking up the wrong tree and they're following the sheep, and they're following what they think is right for them without actually having somebody that can sit down with them and rationally and detached look at and assess everything that's going on in their lives, where they're at, their financial circumstance and situation, and be able to start guiding them to the most applicable method of starting to launch their business and pursue their passions in a way that can really allow them to get to where they want to fast, okay, in the fastest possible way. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, share. If you have questions, if you need me to get into greater detail about things or anything at all, if you've got criticisms, again, just comment down below. I enjoy reading them, and everyone's got their opinions, and it's okay. That's the beauty of this diverse and amazing and wonderful planet that we live on. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm very blessed